What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be getting into my Indianapolis Colts 2026 season predictions. We are back for the AFC South, the last division here that we have got to do. And we're going to start out here with the Colts. We know the Colts last season had an impressive year, especially to start out the year. Unfortunately, Daniel Jones gets injured and their season kind of derails, even though Phillip Rivers came in and wasn't that bad. But the Colts this offseason, they made the big re-signings that they needed to do. Re-signing Daniel Jones, re-signing Alec Pierce, and Jonathan Taylor on that offense. So that was big from the Colts. With that being said, though, because of those re-signings, they had to let go of Michael Pittman, trading him away to the Steelers, and Zari Franklin, their linebacker, letting him go. Not many additions that were really too impressive from the Colts this offseason. They kind of more prioritized bringing back the people they had. They brought in Arden Key and Michael Clemens to kind of help the edge unit a bit. They also went heavy in the draft on defense. This Colts team is really trying to improve that defense. And they also signed 3 solid secondary positions to improve the depth. So that's not bad for the Colts. And they retained their offensive coordinator, their head coach, and their defensive coordinator. So the team is looking good in that regard. But anyway, guys, Indianapolis Colts. Let's get into my predictions on them. First game of the year, they got a game against the Ravens. It'll be a tough game against Baltimore in week 1. I got the Ravens. The Colts are just an interesting team because Daniel Jones is coming off an injury. I don't know how this team's going to look to start out the year because of that. So, yeah, I got the Ravens beating the Colts. And then we got the Chiefs also. 2 tough games to start out the season. I got Kansas City beating Indianapolis in week 2 for the Colts to drop their second game of the season. I do think 3 really tough games. This could really go bad to start out the year for Indianapolis, but I think they're able to get a win against a division rival, the Texans. I think those defensive improvements will be enough to slow down C.J. Stroud at home. Then we go to the Britain game. I think, not the Britain. The London game. We got the Commanders against the Colts. Tough game, but I got the Commanders winning. I think this one could go either way. I think if I was more confident with Daniel Jones to start at this season, like him being healthy, I would go with the Colts here, but I think the Commanders will. I just have some question marks about the Daniel Jones situation to start of the year. Even if he is in, how is he going to look with coming off that rough injury? But then week 5, the Steelers. I got the Pittsburgh Steelers winning, and that will be a rough 1-4 start on the road, tough environment against Aaron Rodgers. Give me Pittsburgh. Then week 6, give me the Colts. Give me the Colts to beat the Tennessee Titans. As much as I like the Tennessee Titans, I think the Colts are probably the better team in general, so I'm going to go with Indianapolis. Week 7, we got the Vikings coming off a bye. Just another one of these tough games. Kyler Murray, I think, will get the advantage of the Colts and the Jaguars. I just think this Colts team is better than what this start is showing. Talent-wise, I just think this is a really brutal schedule, and especially with the Daniel Jones situation, that this team kind of loses some momentum and starts out the year rough rather than last year when they started out good. I just have that kind of feeling that that's going to happen. Then the week 9 game against the Cowboys. Unfortunately, I do have the Dallas Cowboys winning that one as well. So the Colts drop another one. Week 10, getting the Dolphins, much easier opponent. Give me the win against Miami. I don't think they'll be able to sweep the Texans this season. Texans just too good of a team. Give me Houston at home. Week 12 against Daniel Jones' former team. Give me the Giants to get the win. So kind of getting a couple of wins there as they head into the Week 13 by a disastrous season so far at 4-8. We'll see if the Colts can kind of figure some things out. Week 14, I think the Colts start to become a better team at the end of the season. I have them beating the Eagles on the road. I have some question marks about the Eagles this season. I think Indianapolis is going to get some rhythm here. with that offense and start to look a little bit more like the Colts team we saw at the beginning of last season. So give me Indianapolis to beat Philadelphia coming off the bye. Good win. I don't think they're able to sweep the Titans. I think the Titans will be a much more competitive team than last season and get the win. Week 16, Bengals. This will be a tough game, but at home, I have Indianapolis winning that one. And then against the Browns, Colts are just a much more talented team, in my opinion, than Cleveland. So give me the win in Week 17. So Indianapolis, I have right now at 7-9. Really tough to make the playoffs at 8-9. I don't think they're even going to be able to beat the Jaguars in that one. That will mean, I have them getting swept by the Jaguars. Just a more high-stake game at that point on in the season. That the Jaguars, I think, are the more talented team, just in general, than Indianapolis, as good as the Colts were last year. But the Colts, I have finishing 7-10 with that rough start. I think if the Colts can start out much better than that, they can for sure be a playoff team, but they have a tough schedule with the Daniel Jones situation. I don't know how this Colts team is going to start out the year. That's why I have some question marks. But this is one of those teams that I think can be much better than what my predictions say. It's a hesitant 7-10. If this Colts team's looking good to start out this season, this team can for sure be a playoff team. I think, honestly, this team's being slept on. And you can say with this 7-10 record, I'm sleeping on them a bit. I think a lot of people just are overlooking the Colts, forgetting how good they started out the season last year before losing Daniel Jones. I don't know if Daniel Jones is going to look the same as he did last season, but he looked pretty darn good. If he can look like that again, this Colts team, with that offense, I mean, they only lost Michael Pittman. They brought in some good pieces there. They obviously have Sauce Gardner on the defense. The defense really improves. So the Colts could be a slept-on team, a team that I think could surprise some people, and honestly, even win this division. I could see that happening. But I have the Colts going 7-10. But let me know what you guys think about the Indianapolis Colts in the comments, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.